life, these things should be at the top of our head. So that we have because the most important part of it is having an understanding that this life, it is not just our body, mind, senses and the roles that we play all along in our life. There is a reality behind the whole thing. The reality is Nirvisesham, Atmaswarupam. In it only all the Visesha are possible. That is the cognitive understanding. All Visesha are possible because I am Nirvisesha. I am able to see all Visesha. If I am carried away by one Visesha, then I will not be able to appreciate other Visesha. In the sense, other roles, other things. Since I am basically a Nirvisesha person, I am able to appreciate all the Visesha that come and go. When something or other keeps happening, the mind keeps on receiving some thought, some input, some stimulus, time and again, minute to minute, second to second. That is possible. We are able to appreciate that. How it is possible? Only because we are Nirvisesha per se. Only a person without any Visesha will be able to appreciate one Visesha at a time. In the sense, this moment I think of the class. Another moment I will be thinking of some phone ringing. I will bring back my mind and come back to the class. It is possible because I am basically a alert, living, Nirvisesha being. That most people, we don't, unless we get exposed to the Shastra, we never think in those terms. We think that we are some Visesha or other. How can I be Nirvisesha? That will be the basic thing with most people who cannot understand that I am a Nirvisesha being. That is only Shastra tells. That is called Pramanam. Pramanam is the only Pramanam which tells you. Every other Pramanam deals with something. Eyes, ears and all that we have discussed. Mula Pramana and all inference, first level inference, second level inference, science, materials, then extrapolation of the mind. All these are dealing with materials and activities. All the time. We never for a moment sit back and understand that I am the awareful being, Nirvisesham. We never thought that there is a possibility. But after having gone through the whole life and for some time, and then come to Shastra, then Pramana, the Shastra Pramana says, you are basically a Nirvisesha, awareful being, Atma, is your Swarupam. Everything else is a role play. Now, if you have a fair understanding, fair Shraddha in that, then at that point in time, from then on, you have to live an alert life. In the sense, all karma and activities have to be lived as yoga. Till the time, you are totally, in the sense, by spontaneously, like a jnani which is being talked about here, he spontaneously doesn't assume any role. He looks at the role as just a role play. Just the space is there for him. So he doesn't have to make any conscious effort. But at the same time, he has to be reverential. The whole thing is, even though it is role play and all that, it is all happening. It is all in the niyati. It is all in the order of Ishvara. So he has to reverentially do whatever is needed. Because there will be, if one person is a person who knows, 99 people around him is going to be totally aligned to karma and role and all that. They will have so much of affinity. And they will, with their prarabdha, they will attack him. This attack him in the sense, they will try to involve him and try how to remain uninvolved. That is where he has to be again. Okay, all these are happening. It's all in the niyati, it's all in the order. Okay, they are behaving like that because they have not yet understood. But I have to help them. I have to be empathetic with them. This is, you can't tell them, no, you are all nothing. This is only awareness. At that time, they won't be able to understand that. No point in going to a crowd and telling that it's all awareful being. What we are discussing here, we cannot be telling in a crowd. There, what is appropriate behavior? Whatever is empathetic. Empathetically, you have to deal with that problem. You have to accept as if there is a problem. And whatever you can do to alleviate that problem, you have to do that. For that, an alert living is needed. So that is why even for a jnani, you cannot say that, okay, you have taken, okay, if you are sitting alone in the group of sadhus, you can be comfortable, you can be easy, you can even joke around. But when you are in the public, you have to live an alert living and empathetic. So that is where he says, till the last moment in your body, life is there in your body, you have to live an alert living. So both ways, and it can happen, this sort of understanding you can get it in the last moment, and also even after you get the understanding, you have to live an alert life till the last moment. Both are equally important. That's what he is trying to mention. Yeah.
The alert life means consciously we have to do that.
Yeah, in the sense, consciously means till the time if you are a yogi, you have to do it consciously. If you are a jnani, you will do it spontaneously. That's all the slight difference. Spontaneous in the sense it will become natural to you. The second nature, they say, no. Whereas till the time you are not able to claim that Atmatvam, you have to be conscious. You have to deliberately do things. And you see the fruits of it. You will see the fruits of it. Once you are able to be objective, when you are having the space, even in a very difficult situation, you don't get carried away by the moment. Consciously make an effort to do whatever is appropriate without getting emotionally. Even there can be emotion, but still keep the emotions at bay. No, whatever I have got to do, I have to do. No point in getting emotional about it. And do it. Once you do it, no, that alert living at the end of it, after either you solve that problem or get over that situation, you will feel comfortable about it. It means what? I am basically the awareful being. That is the reality. And the difficult moments come and go. The good or bad moments come and go in our life. That we will see. That we will see the fruits of it once we live an alert living, conscious living effort. Very important. We have to have that Shraddha. That is the Shraddha. Because that is the reality we are talking about. The reality is you are basically here and now Nirvisesha, Purnam Atma, awareful being. Irrespective of whatever accolades you get or whatever difficulties you pass through, that is all in the passing. It's all transitory life. That is called Mithya. Mithya, what is there yesterday will not be there today. What is there today will not be there tomorrow. Irrespective of plus or minus. Either the plus or the minus, this also will pass. There is some saying no in English. This also will pass. Means what? That is transitory. Life is transitory. That the life is transitory can be appreciated only for a person who has something more esteeming, in the sense, an awareful being. What is constant? What is changeless? What is not transitory is your reality. If that is, because none of us can accept anything transitory, I am telling you. Basically, we want everything. We want our longevity to be forever. We want our happiness to be forever. And we want to be knowledgeable all the time, everything. Why? Because that is your reality. But not the way in which you think. Not because of your role. But because of your reality as awareful being. Awareful being, basically being dimensionless, desa kala vastu aparichinnam. Meaning, it is not bound by time, it is not bound by space, it is not even a vastu, it is not even a thing, it is just a being. Naturally, as a being, you are not, you are always there. You are always there, that means longevity is taken care of, security is taken care of. And you are always happy because there is no change in situation. Happiness means what? In any moment of happiness means what? You just want to be, that's all. You don't want that situation to change. So that is your nature. That just by being, the being is always there, as I am telling Nirvisesha. That means being is your reality. So it is always there and it is always full because there is no, doesn't have any parts. So question of not having this, not having that doesn't arise because they are always full. Third thing is what? It is always Shit Swarup, in the sense being, and it is not bound by time and space means it doesn't have any ignorance. It is just the being. So that is your reality. That is why you are looking for that reality elsewhere. Without claiming that reality as your nature, you are looking for that in your all your activities and the events and objects throughout your life. Which Shastra says, don't do that. That is not, you don't get it elsewhere. Which we have, a number of examples have been told. You can't lose the chain inside the house and go and search it outside just because there is no enough light inside. That enough light is what is the darkness, the ignorance. That you have to take care of. Bring light inside. Automatically you will see the Purnata in you. And thereafter, whatever you have to do externally, do it. Which will all be limited, transitory. Life is like that. Whether it is rich or poor, young or old. So, The reality understanding, for that, all these things we have been studying. Yoga is only to ensure that you don't get carried away by the activities and objects. So much, get buffeted by so many things throughout the day, you don't have time to sit and introspect. And look at what we have studied all along, whatever we are discussing right now, it needs a lot of introspection. And owning up. Oh, yeah, this should be the reality which I am looking for. Because I want that. It is not that I can postpone it. I can't postpone it. I want to be a happy person all the time. Why should I postpone? And for that, I don't have to do anything. I just have to claim the reality. By understanding. Cognitively understanding, and by lifestyle and by meditative. The viparita bhavana in the sense. And because we have been used to so many things, we can't accept that I am just the being. So some time and again, the alternate thought will keep coming. That's meditation. That is called viparita bhavana, elimination by meditation. So the Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, introspection, listening to this Shastra, reading it through, and Nididhyasanam, meditation, has to be continuous. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. And Pramana, what it says, Pramana means Shabdam. It just says, you are right now, you are saying you are the awareness being. The being in you, being in me are one and the same. Nirvisesha. Everything else is role play. This is Pramana, Shabdam. Like even eyes. Eyes, what they say, eyes, you open your eyes, you see some item. And the item, that it is got a name, that it is good, bad, and all comes later. That is called vritti. Cognition means what? Just see the light on that item falls on your retina. That's all. That is called pratyaya, cognition. That is the only, only prama. Prama that comes out of that pramana, that eyes. Eyes see color and form. That no other pramana can validate. Ears cannot validate, nose cannot validate. So that is why it is called pramana. It doesn't need your will also. Once you, as I have told before also, once you open your eyes, you see. Your will cannot stop it. When you are going through a road, if there is a bad smell, your nose will pick it up. You cannot will it to say, no, I should not pick up bad smell. You cannot say that. Because it doesn't depend on your will. Prama, knowledge, does not depend on will. It is the pramana, the vastu, the item, that pramana, the eyes or ears or nose, and you are there, knowledge will happen. In the same way, the Sabda Pramanam, which I am talking about right away, Shastra tells that you are the awareful being. You got a fairly calm mind now to listen to it. I say that you are the awareful being, that is the same in you and me, and it has nothing to do with the roles we play, because it even observes the mind, body, intellect, everything. And that being, that does not have a dimension, Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, that being is the reality. Now, Pramanam is over. Come on, this is the Shastra's Pramanam. Now, whatever we do, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, in terms of Shastra study and all that, is to get away from our usual way of thinking, usual way of living. Looking for happiness or looking for fulfillment outside. Now, we know this is the Pramana, this is the Shastra's Pramana to tell us that you are the awareful being, is a reality. Now I have to use the Vichara, the Pramana Vichara part of it, Shravanam, Mananam, the inquiry, only to negate what we have been living through all along, with the wrong notions, our understanding of life, like I am good, I am bad, I am ugly, and this is good item, this is a bad item, this is pleasurable moment, this is a bad, not pleasurable moment. Throughout our life, we are grappling. We are looking for, like Bhagavan says, like a pashu. You go for items which you like, and when something you dislike comes, you run away. That's what the pashu also does. When you show grass, it goes near. When you show a stick, it goes away. Then what is the difference between you and pashu? So don't live like that. Come on, now that you have understood the reality, use all those things only to see the reality of it, the transitory. Okay, transitory, I understand, but around me may not understand. Be empathetic. You have been in their shoes, so you can easily empathize with them. You have been like that till the other day. So you can easily empathize. Okay, problem is there. I will try and do something. Whatever I can, I will do. You can say some good words, if not anything else. Or you can do some prayers if you cannot help them by money or activities. Or, if possible, go and help. What you can do to alleviate the problem. These are the things we can do in terms of dealing with the world. But left to ourselves, we must be very thorough in our understanding and use Shravanam, Mananam, Nidhyasanam, living, everything to improve our yoga, our composure, inner composure, wherein time and again through the day I come back to this understanding and own up my reality and being. For that you need space. For that is the only way to live. The lifestyle which you are talking about, yoga, is only to bring back to ourself, bring myself to myself. Time and again, whenever I get time, whenever I get an opportunity. That is the way to live. Till then you have to be deliberate. Thereafter it becomes very spontaneous. Because again, Karmbutinna Kolya, just to be peaceful and Purnam, you don't need money or something. Nobody has to pay you for that. Just whenever you get time, you come back. That is the yoga way of life. That is what we are trying to discuss. Yeah.
This is another meaning for the expression Prak Sarira.
Where the yeah. We have already seen that in terms of the old age.
At any time, while living here in this world, is this physical body, this knowledge can be accomplished by a mature human being. The force of Kama and Krodha continues until death. In his commentary to this verse, Shankara emphasizes until death, meaning to make it clear that the Vega force, released by Kama and Krodha by your Raga Dveshas, operates throughout your lifetime until death, just as the force of hunger and thirst does. For the living person, this Vega definitely takes place. It is not something that happens one day and goes away the next day. And what is the cause? What is its cause? The causes are endless. Shankara says, Ananta Nimittavan Hi Saha Vega.
Nimittavan Hi Saha Vegaha. Saha Vegaha meaning this Vegam is maybe because of various causes. We don't know. A number of innumerable causes can be there. So you have to be alert to that. We don't have to go into the detail of everything. What can be, cannot, because infinite cannot be inquired into. For you to say, for negate all the transitory things, you don't have to be endlessly negating. That's what he says. You be alert to the reality. And whatever possible, at that moment, whatever you come across, you negate. Don't have to keep on inquiring too much into that. What is the reason for this? Don't get into too many things, into all those details. Whatever possible you do, and keep moving away from that and get to the reality. Yeah.
What makes you angry? There are countless situations that can cause anger. Therefore, there is no end to the force, Vega, that is born of desire and anger. In certain situations, there will be no force, whereas in other situations, the Vega will be there in various degrees, and Kama Krodha, from which the force comes, can be virulent indeed. Necessity for alertness. Until you see something, you may not have Kama at all. But once it has been sighted, Kama is there. Similarly, there can be Kama with reference to what is heard. Thus, you find that Kama can take place at any time, which is why Shankara described Vega as that for which the cause is endless. Therefore, in terms of tackling or mastering the force born of Kama Krodha, you must be alert. You should not relax. It does not mean that you should become tense. It simply means that you should not become indifferent. And from the point of one who is a yogi and not a jnani, this alertness must continue until death.
Yeah, this is what I was telling. And you should not also be self-condemning. Suddenly you will find some very unhealthy thought comes. You may immediately feel, why I am thinking like that? I am not supposed to think like that. Why it is coming like that? You should not condemn yourself. Be alert to that and just allow it to pass. Yatha kaman prajahati. As it comes, allow it to pass. Don't have to act. That is why there is no bad thought or good thought. A thought becomes bad only when you act on it. A thought that comes as a fancy and goes, just pause, allow it to pass. And it goes, that's it. For some samskara is there, some prarabdha is there, a bad thought may come. Even a bad thought can be because of prarabdha. Oh, by allowing it to go, you have taken care of that prarabdha. That moment's prarabdha is over. So, you alert living, that is where you can be alert. At any point in time, you can bring up this alertness. So, you don't have to worry about whatever has gone in the past. Oh, now because 10 years back I did this for so long, that is why it is coming back to me again like this. No. Okay, that was happened. Maybe because of there is a reason, good reason for that. But today I know that is wrong, I will not do it. Just allow it to pass. The thought comes, I don't act on it, allow it to pass. If you do it deliberately for 2-3 occasions, thereafter it will stop coming. That's it. So alert living, that is where he is talking about. Yeah.
As we have seen previously, Kama refers to both Raga Dveshas. Raga Dveshas. Here, the emphasis is mainly on Raga, that which is desired by you. Within the scope of your sense perception, an object is seen or heard. You may have experienced the object before as something desirable, and therefore you remember it. When you experience this object, it becomes a cause for your happiness and is therefore desirable to you. Then you long for it. This longing is like thirst, a thirst for objects that make you happy. The longing itself is called kama. All desires are not the kamas that we discuss here, only those which are binding. Krodha is born of your seeing or remembering something that is opposed to your desire, opposed to your longing, causing you pain. Naturally, between kama, desire, and krodha, anger, certain pain is involved. Anger would not come unless there was pain in between.
Lot of psychology is involved in this. I tell you, a lot of psychotherapy is there in that. Entire Raga Dvesha management, Swamiji says, is psychology, purely. And bringing in Ishvara is the super therapist. Once bringing in Ishvara and making it everything as Ishvara, Arpanam and Prasada Buddhi, settling Kama Krodha and Raga Dvesha becomes easy. And that sort of a thing is not available for Westerners and all that. That is why they keep on going for psychotherapy and all that. Whereas we have got Ishvara. We got that Shraddha in Ishvara. Ishvara, Arpanam, Prasada Buddhi, Kama Krodha can be taken care of. That's what he is trying to say. Yeah.
When your expectation is not fulfilled, there is pain, and what you consider to be the obstruction or cause of the pain becomes the object of your anger. Thus, karma itself, causing pain, dislike, and hatred, turns into what we call a locked up anger, krodha. The force that arises out of this kama krodha, referred to in this verse as kama krodha udbhavam vegam, is what needs to be mastered. How do you know there is force? Bhagavad gives few interesting indications of its existence. When you hear or see something that you find so desirable, you long for it. What happens? Your hair stands on end, romanchana, your eyes open wide, praharsta netratva, and your mouth is agape. Praharsta vedanatva.
Vadanatva. Horripulation, we say no in English. There is one term called horripulation. Mayirkucheriyardu in Tamil. That is precisely what he is telling. Certain, even though that may not exactly happen, but we always say, see, I am getting goosebumps. We tell others, I am getting goosebumps. I see this, all that. Those are all the things which he is talking about. Extreme attachment towards the situation. At that time, cool down. Don't get carried away by it. People think that it's a good thing to have, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting emotional. People think that that's something good. It not be. Okay, of course, you don't have to tell the other person, no, but you be alert to that. He says that, you get alert. Okay, he feels nice about it, fine, but let us not get carried away. So that space has to be there. For us to tell that, verbally you must be able to tell ourselves, let us not get carried away. Internally. Once we say that, then there is a distance developed between that situation and you. And then you will be able to handle it equanimously. Whether it happens in a crowd or in a situation, family situation, or to yourself individually. So that is called alertness. Telling yourself verbally, verbalizing that equanimity in your mind, and then go about doing things.
Shankara says, these are the symptoms of the force of karma. Each culture has its own way of expressing karma, and this expression takes many forms. Actually, you express the force of your desires according to your culture. How you express also depends on how cultured you are. Shankara also gives few symptoms of the force of Krodha Garta. Krodha Gatra
Gatra Kampa. Yeah.
Gatra.
Again, there is the extreme expression. Gatram, na again, very passionate expression of anger. That is what.
Prasveda, sweating, Raktanetra, bloodshot eyes, and Samdasa, Austaputa, Putatupa, biting the lips. Other symptoms of the force arising out of anger are shouting, screaming, and so on. And the force of Kamakroda
We
is
say,
there.
no, he's so angry, smoke comes out of his ears. We use that expression. He's so angry. Because he's so much heat inside. That is why it comes out as smoke. Yeah.
When the force of Kamakroda is there, you are no longer in charge. The force itself is in charge. This is the force that is to be mastered. The methods for which were already pointed out in the third chapter, where Krishna talked about Karma Yoga. In fact, this mastery is mentioned all over the Gita. Self-mastery comes with living a disciplined life. Self-mastery comes with living a disciplined life, having a sound value structure that includes prayer and prayerful attitude, prasada buddhi, all of which we have seen. This attitude is based on glad acceptance of what is, living in conformity with the order of Dharma, and appreciating this order as Ishvara. If you live in this way, you find that Kama Krodha Vega loses its sting. Even if anger comes, you are not overcome by it. Only in this way do you become one.
Problems must be addressed.
That means a person who is not able to address this problem is not a Nara.
See, that is what. We have to keep the Nara should strike the thing in our mind. That is why I have explained that Nara long back. I want to be a Nara. Right? I don't want to compromise that situation at any point in time. So for myself, I want to know what is my objective in life, Nara. I want to be there all the time. But that is what my reality is. Whereas, beautiful, no? Our language and culture is so beautiful. We call ourselves Nara. Nara eva Narayana. We just have to be Nara, that's all. Don't get overwhelmed by situations. That much of maturity we develop in situation handling, that itself, that is a big yoga. That is where it all starts. Just be a Nara. Then Narayana automatically follows.
Swami, then being tolerant of any situation is the best solution.
Yeah, in the sense, be with yourself. You are being with yourself. You are being with yourself. Being tolerant in the sense, you are being condescending when you say that I am tolerant. Whereas when I say I am with myself, then it is that is something elevating. You don't have to say we are being tolerant. Swamiji always used to say, who are you to be tolerant?
No, Swami,
Who are you to accommodate? You will say that. Who are you? The world has accommodated you. World has accommodated you all these years. That's what Swamiji will say. You will never know that sort of a condescending language you will never accept. I tolerate. No, never. Who are you to tolerate? You are doing such a way. No, you are doing that because you want to be a Nara. Period. Surely you want to be a mature person. You want to be in charge of yourself. You don't want the situation to take charge of you. You want to take charge of the situation. So that is the real selfishness. I want to be Nara all the time. I want to be a happy, calm person. Respective of
So the intelligence is about not getting angry. It's about being tolerant and taking charge of the situation that is there.
Don't use that word tolerant even. Don't use that word tolerant. Verbally also don't put it in your head.
Okay. Taking charge of the situation.
Yeah, I am being realistic about the situation. Whatever works, I carry on. And wherever it is not going to be very conducive, I slip away. Okay, I'll take care. There is always another day. There is a saying, no, in life. There is always another day. And anything bad or good always passes. These are all the reality words. Those things should be there in our head. Especially as elders, no, as we grow along, we have to develop them because the world is changing too fast for our liking. Best is to develop the inner composure and just be happy in every situation. Tell yourself that I won't be hurt. Nobody can hurt me. Inside. Yeah.
Problems must be addressed. People do not address this problem and for the most part suffer under the force of kama krodha for their entire lifetime. They live a life of Veda and then they die. They do not even have a chance to address the problem. But everything does seem to happen finally for the good, in that there seems to be a new awareness in the society today. For instance, alcoholism has been causing problems that people were not really aware of until fairly recently. But now it is understood that everyone who lives or has lived in a house where alcohol is used is affected. And because of this realization, a huge movement has resulted, a brand new wave that is not an ordinary one, in which it is commonly accepted directly. And to do this, it is also accepted that there must be a program of conversion.
The Alcoholic Anonymous, the institutes and the Dr. Shanti Ranganathan and all are known to Swamiji very closely. So because of that, he is telling that in that they give for the family, they give a prayer and all that. Prayer is one of the main thing. Every day morning they have to pray to ensure that the alcoholic person is helped with the drugs and medicines, because you will initially develop a lot of reaction. You will not be able to get out of alcohol. So you will develop a lot of reaction for him, and then you have to give him the medicine and ask him to pray, and you also have to be very accommodative in the sense you have to be nice to him as family members. So the family members are also called and counseled and all that. So those things Swamiji was aware of. That is why he is referring to that case of alcoholism. That is only one aspect of it, but now things have changed. He's talking about 20 years back, 30 years back. Now things have changed, a lot of other problems are there. But everywhere we have to be prayerful and in the sense people have self-help group. There is, you need to handhold each other in the family. If even a person who is given to anger and all that, you have to create conducive situations for him where he understands there is no point in getting angry in situations and all that. That's sort of a helping hand to help him get over those things and see the positivity in not getting angry, not being in charge of oneself. All those things, small things. It need not be always alcohol. In some other areas also, we can take charge of ourselves. That's what he is trying to say. Yeah.
The better society may be
Amma used to work.
Natural.
Swamiji. Amma used to work in that alcohol anonymous place.
Good. Nice. So you will be able to relate to what Swamiji says better.
Yeah, Amma will be able to relate.
But the better society may be the natural outcome of this particular awareness alone, because those who go through this program of conversion and experience the changes that such a program implies will become saintly people. These people will be sensitive to the problems of others. They will be people who do not harm others and who are very understanding and mutually helpful to each other. Having come through their own problems, they understand the problems of others. They know what pain is and why others behave the way they do. Perhaps then we are in for a new society because of alcohol. Addressing the problem is the main point here. That you have a problem is not important. because you are not responsible for it. It has all been picked up over a period of time. You did not go out looking for your problems because you wanted to have problems. Rather, they are problems that you happen to pick up. But you must address them here while living in this life, in this physical body, before you die. Prak Sharira Vimokshanat.
That is what he means by the word. The Prak Sharira Vimokshanat, he has taken so much time to explain. Before things go out of hand, even when we are alive and healthy, you must take charge of these situations. Get out of this kama, krodha, taking charge of your life by various instances. Yeah.
First, you pick up problems and then you solve them. It seems to be how growth is. You create hurdles and then try to jump over them. That is the fun of it all. Life is like a hurdle race. The race itself is fun, but when you create hurdles and then try to jump over them, it makes the race even more fun. Because you have free will, this situation is inevitable. The creation, the world is like what it is, because it cannot be any better right now. If you were already programmed, that is without free will, there would be no human being at all, nor would there be Gita or any further evolution. To be a human being implies free will. And once free will is given to you, then wisdom is something that has to be gathered by you. In other words, by free will.
Yeah, in the sense, see what he means here is once you have free will, the wisdom is not something automatic. Because free will, as I told earlier also, you can use, you can disuse, you can misuse, you can abuse. And these all four possibilities are there. Most probably we will do all the other three possibilities. Using it properly is only 25% probability. So other three will happen. So that is where you have to acquire wisdom to get over that. So the free will itself gives you a human being complicated situations. It is the reality. 100 people means 75 people will behave differently. That is probability. By statistically, it is definitely possible. And if you want to be a sane person, you want to act on wisdom, you are in the minority. It is natural. So you cannot complain, I am in the minority. You will be in the minority if you are a wise person. So that is where the challenge lies. Now that you are wise, you appreciate, empathize with the 75% of the